If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Friday morning to you, and welcome to the show. Stephanie Pauly, our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the Jarrett Construction Studios right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show is service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor on Virginia Street. Tony with a whole lot of trunk shows coming up this fall. Get a complete list of them listed on his website, bestmastertaylor.com, and follow Tony the Taylor on Facebook. Coming up on the show, it's Friday, which means we're going to bring in Angie Gillenwater from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. And as always, the pictures posted at Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and the WCHS Network Facebook page, as well as at Dave A70 on X. We are going to spend a little time talking about a celebration that is going to be happening next week for Mountain State Spotlight as they celebrate their 5th anniversary. And we got a whole lot of other things we're going to get into as well. Right now, let's talk a little high school football, though, as Chris Lawrence and Tom Bragg joined us in the studio. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Before we get into high school football, I do want to say that might be a good idea for you because you need another dog in your life. You need to go over to the Facebook page, look at our Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. He's a hound dog named Hank.
Well, I already got one Hank in the household, so we can't have another one.
Okay,
but how about Hank 2?
Yeah, Hank the Third. This is a hound dog named Hank who, according to Angie, who we'll talk to in a couple of moments ago, doesn't bark. Now,
what gives a hound dog that don't bark?
I guess I don't know if he does sign language. I don't know if he just puts up a sign.
Can he tree? I mean, that's the thing, and I don't know how you bark treat if you can't bark. So.
But as soon as I said, I saw that she sends me the picture every Thursday night, I saw that hound dog named Hank. I immediately thought of you.
Well, I appreciate that. I have enough dogs, though. I've got 2 of them, and they are both small dogs, and they both are highly. What do you call it? Highly demanding, high maintenance, right. And they're both prima donnas. So the last thing I need is another dog, even if it's one that has a gentle disposition and is works well with others. Because I got 2 dogs that don't
and doesn't bark. Doesn't bark.
Exactly.
All right, so let's start with your game tonight. You got the Hurricane game, right?
I do. I have Hurricane hosting Parkersburg, and really my biggest hope for this game is that we don't have lightning.
Yeah, I think you're in good shape.
I do not want to go through that mess again like we had last week. I was trying to figure out what we were going to do. Fortunately, we had Reds baseball in our back pocket that we could just pop on. We don't have that luxury tonight because the Reds are on the West Coast. So, and it was really interesting. We were at Crawford Field last week, and when we went into game suspension and the monsoon opened up, I text Team Bragg and Murphy, and Murph's like, "What are you talking about? It's not even raining here." He goes, "We're in a lightning delay, but there's no rain." And I thought, well, that's weird because we were in Winfield.
Yeah.
And then when they canceled our game like 10 minutes later, I'm driving up the interstate and I hear them going, "Oh yeah, it's a monsoon here as well."
Murphy actually posted a video of it, and it looked like a hurricane, not a hurricane. It looked like a hurricane in Winfield.
Yeah, it was bad out there when it hit, but like you said, we had a lightning delay for probably half an hour with just no rain. You could tell it was coming though.
Yeah,
but when it finally hit, I think Matt had parked the truck out in a spot that had low ground on either side of it, so there was no safe way to get. I think he just took his shoes off and got in barefoot.
That's what happened. Yeah, we had about 30 minutes there after the first lightning strike that you probably could have gotten the first half in, but because of the rules, they had to quit. And then when they started back up, everybody came back in, got it started, and then the next time there was no going back after that one. So hopefully we don't have that problem
All right,
tonight.
so talk about the matchup, Parkersburg and Hurricane.
We have two teams that are winless, and one of them will get their first win tonight. It's been kind of rough for both of these teams. Parkersburg had a lead last week, and they let it get away from them to Spring Valley. And then, of course, Hurricane started their season against an extremely difficult opponent in George Rogers Clark of Kentucky, and then they got beaten last week as well. So one of these teams is going to come out of it tonight with their first victory. It'll be interesting to see who will do that because both teams have a lot of young guys that are just trying to find their foothold. So this should be a good opportunity for one of them to take a step forward tonight.
All right. What do you got on West Virginia Outdoors tomorrow morning?
We're going to talk a little bit more about the EHD problems that are happening in the Mid-Ohio Valley, and that is an illness called epizootic hemorrhagic disease in white-tailed deer, and we'll talk a little more about that because it's a great concern for folks in that part of the state. And also, the National Wild Turkey Federation, the state chapter, has a lot of projects going on. Cully McCurdy with NWTF West Virginia is going to join us, and we're going to spotlight some of those. Plus, it's opening weekend of squirrel season.
I saw your post this morning about how, when as a kid, you couldn't sleep the night before went on squirrel season.
In Virginia, it was always September the 15th, man, and I just it was whatever Saturday was around the 15th because I always had to go to school for the other days. But Saturday I couldn't wait to get up and hit the woods.
And you and I have talked about this before because we're roughly the same age. You're a year or so older than I am, but I it just as goes to show you how much things have changed. I remember quite well in elementary school, kids bringing their guns to school.
Did it in high school all the time?
I'm talking in grade school, to go squirrel hunting immediately after. I mean, where our elementary school was, which doesn't exist anymore, but the boys would bring the guns into the school, take them on the bus, give them to the teacher, and whatever time the bell rang for the final bell, 3:00 or whatever, got their guns, walked to the school, and walked right over the mountain. No parents, anything.
Same thing at my high school. It was it just seems so foreign of a concept today. But our assistant principal said, "I don't want your guns in your," they were hanging in the back window of the truck. He goes, "I don't want that in the parking lot." He said, "Bring them in here." So we'd come into the school
different time,
carrying a shotgun. And when you walked
the armory
into
the vice principal's office.
And when you go into his office, literally there were 20 shotguns all the way around the room, or small caliber rifles. It was amazing.
All right, Chris, have a good broadcast tonight. We'll be listening to you tomorrow morning. Thanks,
Sounds good, man.
Let's transition over to Tom Bragg. You and Murphy have got the Nitro and Hoover game tonight. Talk about them.
Yeah, big one down in Elkview. Two top 5 teams in the Metro News Power Rankings /AAA this week. Nitro coming in at 4, Hoover at 5. Wildcats and Huskies coming in off big wins last week. I know Chris had the delayed game, the Battle of the Bridge. It ended up a lopsided Nitro win on Saturday morning. Similar thing happened with Herbert Hoover in Winfield last week. Huskies end up coming away with a 35-0 win, a big bounce-back game for them after coming up short down on the road at Independence week 1. They're 1-1 coming into this one. But this is a heavyweight matchup, certainly as far as Kanawha Valley high school football goes, but statewide in Class AAA, this is one a lot of people around the Mountain State have their eyes on. Two very good teams. Some questions, though. I think whoever's offensive line keeps their quarterback upright is the team that's going to find more success in this one. It was a big problem from Hoover week 1. They allowed 8 sacks. They cleaned that up against Winfield last week. This Nitro defense, though, they've played really well. No points allowed against St. Albans last week. They haven't necessarily played a team the caliber of Independence like Hoover has. I think that's the best opponent either of these teams has faced so far. But we'll see, man. This is always a fun game when these two get together. Last year, these were two high-flying teams scoring a ton of points. They get together, 13-10 overtime game. Yeah. Herbert Hoover won that one. One of the best games Murphy and I had all of last year. Rematches tonight down in Elkview. We kickoff is at 7. We'll go live probably 6:55, 6:50, a couple minutes before then. And, man, really looking forward to this one. This one, when the schedule came out, you circle certain games. You look for when's the Nitro game. This might have been the first one we circled.
And that game tonight, of course, on Superstar Country 96.1 KWS. Chris Lawrence, the Hurricane game at Parkersburg. He and Aaron Parker will have the call to that on WCHS. Let me ask you real quickly, and then we're going to transition over to Angie Gillenwater. You're all decked out in your Marshall gear today.
Yes,
Oddly enough, I've got my Marshall shirt on. There's also a big game in Morgantown tomorrow.
Yeah.
So WVU Pitt. Give me quick 20, 30 seconds, your thoughts on that game and the Marshall game. Marshall's still looking for their first victory as they take on East Kentucky tomorrow. So talk about WVU Pitt first.
I think something's got to give, particularly on the West Virginia side. Rich's first team, his first year back, they're kind of trying to find their identity, find some momentum. It would be a great spot to really win the fans back over after a rough outing last week. It's going to be a tough game. Pitt's pretty good this year, maybe better than they've been the last few years. So interesting to see the opportunities there for them to really see something. And for Marshall, you got to win, and it's got to be a thorough beating, or the pitchforks and the torches might start to come out. It has been a rough start for Gibby down in Huntington.
Yeah.
That game last week, woof. It just kind of an indictment on maybe how well or how not well they did in the transfer portal. And it's a dicey gamble with a lot of those guys, and through a couple of weeks, it looks like it's not paying off for the Herd so far.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, we do not want to start 0-3.
No, you do not.
That's not good. All right, Mr. Bragg, appreciate it, buddy. Thanks a lot. We'll be listening tonight. You and Matt Murphy again will be in the land of the Huskies tonight for Herbert Hoover and Nitro, and then Chris and Aaron Parker will be in Hurricane for the Redskins and Parkersburg. So, again, the Parkersburg and Hurricane game on WCHS. Superstar Country is the place for Hurricane football. Herbert Hoover football, as they will be taking on Nitro. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Let's go over to Angie Gillenwater from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Angie, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Almost had a yawn interrupt that.
Are you not a football fan, Angie? Is that what it was?
Oh, no, it's just a Friday morning after a long week.
I got you. By the way, I want to give a little personal note about Angie here, and I don't need to go into all the details, but I had a good friend of the program, frequent guest of the program, that had a situation. No, I'm sorry, wrong story. I'm getting my stories mixed up here. I had a good friend who reached out to me, and former employee of this company, as a matter of fact, because they had a stray dog situation, and she said, I really need some help, and I hooked you up with Vicky, and you got her taken care of. Again, I don't know all the details, don't need to, but appreciate your help on that, Angie.
I had no problem. Vicky was a delight, and we're actively working that situation. That dog's a little smarter than us. So.
Okay. All right. Again, I do thank you for your help, because she reached out to me and she said, "Look, I don't know what to do here." And I said, "I got just the person. Let me give you Angie's phone number." And so you're trying. Let's get to this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. As always, the pictures posted on Dave Allen Radio and Facebook, also the WCHS Network Facebook page, as well as at Dave A70 on X. It's Hank. Tried to get Chris Lawrence, who has a son named Hank, to at least look at adopting Hank. He didn't seem to be very interested, but Hank would be a fantastic dog. Tell us Hank's story.
Hank would absolutely be a fantastic dog for anyone. He actually came to the shelter as a stray with like a 6-month-old puppy who is named Waylon.
That's my cat's name. That's my cat's name.
That's exactly why I made sure to tell you.
Yeah.
We might change Hank's name to Grady, actually.
Okay, all right.
But Hank is about 4 years old, 60 pounds. He's good with other calm dogs and extremely friendly with kids. And if you look at his picture, you'll notice he's a hound dog of sorts. I'm not sure exactly what breed of hound dog, but he's got the ears, he's got the tail, the coloring. Interesting fact about Hank, though, is that I've not heard him bark yet, which is very unusual for a hound, but also unusual just for a dog in our shelter.
Well, and that's interesting, because I mentioned that because, Chris Lawrence is Mr. Outdoors around here, and I mentioned that to him. I said, this is a hound dog named Hank, perfect for you. I said, but the one thing is, Angie doesn't know if he barks or not. And he said, well, who's ever heard of a hound dog that doesn't bark? But apparently this is one, or maybe he just didn't have anything to say yet.
Yeah, that could be it too. He seems pretty easygoing, so I don't know if he just doesn't have any complaints and he doesn't get excited about much. But yeah, I have yet to hear him bark. Copper, we did a few weeks ago. Copper, you can tell where he's at in that shelter at all times. Hank, not so much.
All right, so we'll get back to Hank in a couple moments. Again, if you want to see his picture, go over to my social media pages, also the WCHS page. Tell us about this Diplomat program. I was reading a little bit on your social media last night about this Diplomat program that you got going on at the shelter. Talk about that.
Yes, it's our Doggy Diplomat program, and our volunteers and staff participate in this. But essentially, our behaviorist keeps a map of the most stressed dogs in our care, and one way that we can help ease their stress and make their time at our shelter a little more enjoyable is through this Doggy Diplomat program. With your Doggy Diplomat, you get them out for at least 15 minutes a day, and you can take them on a walk. You can take them on your lunch break and get them, a cheeseburger, a pup cup, what have you. But just getting these dogs out, spending time with them, once you have them to a level where you can earn their trust, it's also working on basic commands like sit, stay, things that will set them up for success in a home. So our staff do that. Our staff love their Doggy Diplomats, and we also rely on them to give us more info about their diplomats. So it's kind of hard as the social media person there to get to know, all 300, 400, what have you, of our animals. So with the Doggy Diplomats and the kitty diplomats, it's much easier to, talk to somebody about these pets and relay that message to potential adopters.
All right, what are you in need of up there? I mean, it's kind of the same thing every week, but is there anything that you're especially in need of this week at the shelter as far as donations go?
I know that we were running really low on Dawn dishwashing liquid yesterday, and again, it doesn't have to be Dawn, just any dishwashing liquid. And I think dog wet food of any brand was another thing that we were pretty low on.
All right. Are you out and about anywhere this weekend?
Yes, so we're actually going to be participating in Be My Neighbor Day tomorrow at Slack Plaza. I think it's from 12 to 3, around that area. So we will be down there with some adoptable puppies. All
right. That sounds good. All right, Angie. I forgot. I have a text for you. You have a text waiting on you every week. Text says, saw Splash, who was one of the pups left in a box with his mom and siblings back in June on TV yesterday. He was adorable. Was wondering how those poor pups were doing that were found in the box in that heat. I know you said one was in critical condition. Please tell us they are doing well.
Whenever they came in, 2 of them had passed away immediately upon entering the shelter. Then there was the one that kind of broke Facebook, and her skin, I'll spare you the details, but she had extreme sunburn, essentially. Right. So she actually ended up succumbing to her injuries as well. But as for the rest of the puppies and mom, everyone has been doing fabulous. Everyone is now available for adoption. So if you see any puppy with a summer-themed name, so like Splash, Sunflower, those kind of names, those are her puppies, and Slushy is the mama dog. Slushy is also one of the dogs that is very, very stressed in the shelter. So if you have some sympathy in your heart for mom and her pups, they are all available for adoption and would love to be out of there. All
right. Hey, I appreciate you taking time to be here today. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
Angie Gillenwater, Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Again, Hank is our dog this week. Hank is 4 years old, about 60 pounds, came in as a stray, great with kids. Other calm dogs, no problem there as well. He's a hound that they've not heard bark yet. So that's kind of different, but look, if you want a quiet dog, this might be the dog for you. And his adoption fee is waived, so he is absolutely free. He's a very sweet dog, walks well on a leash, perfect dog. Old Hank is the dog that you need. I got his picture posted to Dave Allen Radio on Facebook and at Dave A70 on X, and also the WCHS network page as well. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We'll take a break. Coming back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Polka Valley Bank. Polka Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Polka Valley Bank locations today. Polka Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Polka Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Ready to score a touchdown with your retirement planning? Join the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group. We provide comprehensive guidance on retirement planning in West Virginia. With a playbook tailored to your goals, we'll guide you from the first down to the end zone. Whether you're starting your career or approaching the retirement goal line, we can help create a strategy for you. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to see how we can help make your retirement dreams a reality. Game on with the Stike team.
Welcome back to the show. It is 9:27. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. It's a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com, under the podcast menu. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. Folks at Mountain State Spotlight celebrating their 5-year anniversary coming up September the 18th. Lauren Hatcher is here with us. How you doing, Lauren?
Hey there, I'm doing well.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Talk about the Mountain State Spotlight for those that don't know. What exactly is Mountain State Spotlight?
Yeah, that's a really good place to start.
Yeah.
We are a nonprofit newsroom. We're digital only. We produce about 3 stories a week. Deep investigations are our priority. We also cover the legislature pretty intensely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not that news outlet that's going to tell you that 64 is shut down because of a wreck, but we're going to do the more intense investigative. Why are there these issues? Let's get to the root of it, and let's get out there and talk to West Virginians and figure out what information they need.
And I think, what happens is so many times in the world of media, us and the folks at the TV stations and, whatever, we get this all the time. Well, you guys need to look into this, and you guys need to, and look, we're an award-winning, Marconi award-winning news operation here. We're pretty good at what we do, yes, I think. I can't take credit for it. I'm just a personality. I'm not a news person. And even the TV stations, to a certain extent, from time to time, they'll do an investigative report, but primarily it's breaking news. It's 64 is shut down, which, by the way, it's not. I just want to,
it's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's day-to-day news, whatever. And there's just not an opportunity because of lack of people, lack of staff, whatever, to sometimes break down into these deeper stories. And that's where I think it's so important from a journalism standpoint that we have an organization like yours. Let's go back over the history of, have you been there the entire time?
I have not, no.
Okay. All right.
I wish I was. I wish I could say that.
Got there as quickly as you could.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I had my eye on us from the very beginning.
Explain that. What was it that interested you about Mountain State Spotlight?
Yeah, I liked the concept that we go to West Virginians, ask them what they want to know, go away to our little holes of a reporting room, do that work, and then bring it back to the people. And so we are not trying to decide what's important for West Virginians. We're letting them tell us, and then we're going to go do the work because we have the resources and the time, and that's our whole job. And these other people have whole other jobs that they do.
I mean, and look, and in the world of media landscape, which, has never been bigger than it is now, there's room for everybody and everything.
Yes,
and even though, sometimes we compete for ad dollars and things of that nature, I mean, we work in this organization, we work hand in hand with the TV stations in here. Yeah. We work hand in hand sometimes, with the with the news, with the newspapers and with folks like you, because look, we all need each other because we all do different things. Yeah. Over that 5 years, I know you've not been there, Lauren, the entire time, but over that 5 years, Talk about some of the bigger stories that have been covered. Either you've covered or the I keep calling it a publication because I'm old.
Yeah, no, that works. That works. Yeah,
the news source has covered. Talk about some of the bigger stories.
Well, first, let me go back and say that I fully agree with you. And to me, it sounds so flitty, floaty, whatever. But to me, there's no competition, only collaborators. And so we're all working towards the same goal, which is to just keep people informed. And thank goodness folks like you, folks like the news stations are able to do that breaking news, because that's just not what our focus is. We have a different focus, and so that's fine. Some of our bigger stories, luckily for the rest of our team, I am not a reporter. Okay. I am our development officer, so I do our fundraising. We have such a fantastic reporting staff that gets in there, and we've covered a lot of the flooding that's happened, especially in the past year, but definitely that's the flood recovery and then the incoming floods that happen since 2016. We're talking about broadband. We're talking about all this relevant day-to-day, the things that you're talking around your dinner table. We, last year around the election, put together the Citizens Agenda for West Virginia. So we went to all 55 counties. Our reporters put something like over 10,000 miles on their cars or something like that. Went to all 55 counties, talked to West Virginians, wanted to know what they needed to know in order to make an informed voting decision. And so we put together a voter guide on every single candidate running at any level down to the county level.
And these voter guides, they're not necessarily endorsements or anything like that.
Absolutely not.
They're just basically what the public has asked about these candidates, and this is how he or she feels on this subject or on that subject or this.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, if nothing else, the farthest thing from an endorsement possible, it is just the facts. And it is, hey, the people in your county want to fix the potholes. What are you going to do about that? And then the person answers the question, or they don't answer. And then we just publish exactly what they say, no commentary. And then we give it back to the people in those counties, and then they can make a decision on who to vote for based on that. So that was one of our biggest things last year for sure.
Lauren Hatcher from Mountain State Spotlight is here for Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues, allergies, respiratory problems, and a bunch more. Pinnacle can offer specialized indoor air quality services, residential, commercial, and industrial settings. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. You mentioned the funding of this. Where does the funding come from for this?
Yeah, so that's another great question. That's where the nonprofit part of us comes into play. And a lot of people, I think, maybe don't realize either that we are a nonprofit or what that really means. And so that means we are at the absolute root of it, for the people, by the people. And so we are funded by the people that we see in Kroger. We have people that send us monthly donations, just like you would any other nonprofit, or annual donations, or any level of tax deductible donation. And we also have national grant funders, because again, like most nonprofits, we are grant funded as well. And so we again, this is our 5th birthday. We are next Wednesday, the 17th. It'll be 5 years that we have existed, and we've never done a fundraising event before.
Okay.
And so we're trying it out, and it'll be next Thursday, the 18th. And it's a new endeavor for us.
And where will that be?
Yeah, so it's happening at the McFarland Hubbard House, thanks to the West Virginia Humanities Council folks. They've been great partners in making this event come to life. So we're really excited to have it in a place that feels very West Virginia, because I'm not sure if you're familiar with that home, but it's a historically recognized home and beautiful, has a lot of rich history of Charleston and West Virginia.
Right. So, and again, we'll give you more information about the celebration, the gathering, the fundraising event, if you will, coming up in just a little bit. But how did you get involved in this? You said you hadn't been there all 5 years, and you said that you're also not a reporter, that you're more on the development side. Right. Talk about you. How did you get involved in this?
Well, like I said, I've been in Charleston now over 5 years.
From?
So I'm originally from Blacksburg, Virginia.
Okay.
So the other Virginia.
Home of the Hokies.
Yeah, boo.
Not a Virginia Tech person?
Not a Virginia Tech person.
All right.
Despite one of my brothers being there as a student right now, not a Virginia Tech person. No. I'm excited for the backyard brawl this weekend.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
But Yeah, originally from Blacksburg, Virginia, went to college up in Buchanan at West Virginia Wesleyan College.
Right. One of my favorite. I just had the president of Wesleyan on the show last week. One of my favorite people.
I love James. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, he's a great guy. Mm-hmm. Such a good guy.
Doing a lot of great things up there, too.
Oh, my goodness, doing such great things.
And a beautiful campus. I mean, it's classic. I mean, I've spent time on campus because we have a partnership with them for the West Virginia Scholar Program,
yes.
And which we're very, very proud of. But that the campus, if you happen to be in Buchanan, especially if it's fall,
yes.
grab a parking spot and just walk around campus. It's a beautiful, beautiful
swing by
campus.
Stone Tower downtown, get a cup of coffee, and then walk around campus. It's beautiful.
It is. It is. But sorry, I kind of go off on a tangent
no, it's
there.
fine. I'll go on tangents, talk about Wesleyan all the time. I love it. But yeah, so went to school up there and then moved down here to Charleston about 5 years ago. I've been here ever since. And had my eyes on Mountain State Spotlight as I saw them formulating who they were in the state and kind of they came to be. Ken Ward Jr., previously of the Gazette, started this organization and just hit the ground running, trying to make sure that West Virginians not only had the news that they needed, the information that they needed, but that he was creating an organization that matched those values as well. And so we prioritize reporter pay. We prioritize benefit leave. I mean, all of that. We want to be not only a place that is making West Virginia better, but is a good place to work as well. And it's fantastic.
One thing that our organization and all, I think, news organizations kind of struggle with from time to time is that, especially with getting young people to go into this, because it's with social media, Lauren, being what it is now, everybody's a reporter.
Right.
That's not always good. That's not always good because and again, I'm not a reporter. I have been. I've been a news director of a radio station, but it's not what I do now. Mm-hmm. But we are trained on how to do certain things, especially when it comes to breaking news, which I know you guys don't do. You don't just go on the air with something. You've got to be able to have you got to verify, three sources, that sort of thing. Yeah. Sometimes not everybody does that on social media, but my point is that it's difficult sometimes to find people that are going into things like what we do for a living, and even a again, I keep calling it a publication.
No, do it. Go for it. Yeah.
Just bear with me. Even with an organization like yours, I would imagine sometimes it's difficult to find people.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we talk about all the time, just in terms of the state. I mean, we're constantly, that's a lens that we have to look at all of our stories through, is the fact that the general population of West Virginia is older. It's something that I've been passionate about. I mean, I like to joke that I'm a West Virginian by choice.
Trust me, we need more people to be West Virginians by choice. We need West Virginians to remain West Virginians too.
I agree. Yeah. So it's definitely a challenge that I feel like everybody is facing. Definitely us as the news and media world, but just everybody is facing the struggle of finding a way to entice young people to not only be here, but stay here. That's something I cared about a lot. Having come to school here, I didn't want to just come in and then fly back out. I wanted this to be a place that I was able to invest my energy and care in, because it held me and invested energy and care into me when I was here. And so I think we feel lucky to have found several different interns that have turned into staff members. We talk a lot with a lot of the journalism schools, both at WVU and Marshall. I mean, we feel lucky to have those connections across the state that find us the people that need to find us, if that makes sense.
I want to, and we'll wrap it up here because I know you got things to do, and I want to make sure we give all the details and everything about your event next week. But your story fascinates me because, again, it's somebody not from West Virginia. You chose to go to school in West Virginia at Wesleyan. Then you chose Charleston. And we need so many of these stories because all we hear is people are fleeing West Virginia right and left. You're somebody who's not. Did you have ties to this area at all? I mean, family?
Not Charleston specifically. I have grandparents in Bluefield and Buchanan, hence the Wesleyan. But no, not Charleston.
But you chose to come to go to school here, and you chose to stay here. You chose to make a life here. How do we talk to a lot more younger people about wanting to do what you did, whether it's somebody who's from West Virginia or somebody like you who chose West Virginia? How do we How do we sell that? How do you sell people on what you experienced that made you, who are from Blacksburg, Virginia, want to stay in West Virginia?
I hate to use this answer, but it's just the people. You meet the right people and you fall in love. You see the way that they view the state, whether they're from here or not. The grit and the resiliency of West Virginians is something that I respect and admire so much and want to continue to like push people forward. I kind of like to think about it as like I'm fresh blood. I haven't had to deal with all of the struggles that so many West Virginians have had to deal with for so long. And so I can come in with some renewed energy because I'm a newbie. I've only been in the state 9 years now. And so I'm not jaded. I have the energy to continue creating the world that we want to have for these young people and encourage them to be here. I think as much as we want to sell it and it's beautiful and we can post the pictures of the gorge and it's stunning and we can draw people here, but in order to get people to stay, you got to pay them. You got to care for them. You got to find your community. You got to get them invested. You get invested. You got to let people know that they care about you being here. I mean, if I were to leave, I know people would be upset, and I don't know if other people, like just my friends, and I don't know if other people would feel that way. And so you just got to find the way to invest in people, and you got to find the way to help them feel like they're a part of something and they're a part of the community, and just really, like I said, invest in them.
All right. Talk about your gathering next week.
Yeah. So September 18th, Thursday. It is a donor event, and it's no gala. It's no sit-down chicken dinner. It is casual. It is celebratory. I mean, we are just simply giddy and excited to be here after 5 years, being able to provide information to West Virginians. I mean, we hear stories every day of without you all, we wouldn't have the information that we have.
And remind people where they can get said information.
Yes, so all of that information can be found on our Facebook, on our website, mountainstatespotlight.org, Mountain State Spotlight on Facebook. It'll be 6 to 8. Tickets are $35, but we also have a pay what you can option because all of our reporting is free, and so we want to make sure our events are also accessible to everybody else.
And no paywalls, right?
No paywalls at all. Yeah.
That's a very important thing. And and I want to make sure that people realize that they can go check out your publication, not just when you're having this gala and this fundraiser.
We have a weekly newsletter during session. We have a daily newsletter, so we really try to get the information to people as fast as we can.
All right. Lauren, you're doing great things. Appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Hang out with me here just 1 second. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an order of 6 meatballs, $24.99. Dine in, delivery, or pick up. Check out HustonsPizza.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We've kind of been monitoring the news here, and as we told you at the top of the hour, there is now there is a suspect. Apparently, President Trump was actually the first person that came out and said that there was a suspect in custody. The FBI is scheduled soon to do an update on this. Apparently, as the FBI had said, it was a college-age person, looks like a 22-year-old from Utah. And the FBI is going to do a status update, and we're going to see what we can uncover for you during the break, and we'll be back right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Seasons are changing, the kids are back in school, and cooler weather is on the way. But one thing that always remains consistent is the car buying experience at Walker Chevrolet in Nitro. You see, that's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the process at Walker is remarkably simple. They help you find a vehicle that you love at a deal that makes you smile. And don't forget, Walker is still buying cars too. Now, all makes and models are welcome, and they'll give you top dollar for it, even if you plan to buy somewhere else. But why would you? You know, it's good to know that in a world full of constant change, there are some things that remain consistent, and that some car dealers still believe in treating you like a friend with a smile and a handshake. Head to Walker Chevrolet in Nitro, in the shadow of the Interstate Bridge, just off the Nitro exit of I-64. Walker Chevrolet, making friends one deal at a time.
You've worked hard. You've saved. Now it's time to make your money work for you without second-guessing every decision. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people retire with confidence and clarity. We'll create a personalized plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, and your legacy. Retirement should feel like freedom, not fear. Visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. Let's get started today. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
You're 14 minutes away from 10. Stephanie Pauly is our producer today. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Ava Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community Technical College. Insurance agents are in high demand all across the country and in West Virginia as well. And Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their licensure pre-sales licensure course prepares you to sit for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam to start your career in this big-time growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community Technical College, your career starts here. Told you we've been kind of keeping an eye on the news that apparently there is a suspect in custody in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Let's go to this now from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump says there's a suspect in custody in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk.
President Trump on Fox News Friday morning said law enforcement officials have a person in custody in the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody.
The president later said this.
The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
As for details about how this developed, the president said, quote, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
ABC's Pierre Thomas says video of the suspected gunman released by the FBI may have broken the case.
The video was going to be the catalyst. They believe that for someone, the photographs, the images, for someone who knew him.
A manhunt has been underway since Kirk was shot and killed on Wednesday in front of about 3,000 people, the FBI speaking this hour. This is ABC News.
All right, that from ABC News. And again, we'll have more on ABC News and the station coming up at the top of the hour. And the Talk Line boys will get into it as well. And certainly we'll later today on Metro News Midday. So that is and the FBI is supposed to speak here momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and guess probably around 10 because, it's the FBI. They like to have whole numbers. So I'm going to guess probably around 10 or something like that. Again, Wilson and Meadows will be covering that on Talk Line, and we'll come back with it on Metro News Midday. So that is what we can tell you at this point. Speaking of the show, Metro News Midday, no Amanda Barron today. She is off on assignment somewhere. It is Friday, which means we're going to introduce you to yet another great eating establishment from around the state of West Virginia. On this particular one, don't want to spoil it for you, but if you're in this area and you are heading to Morgantown for the Backyard Brawl, yeah, we're going to feature a fine establishment there in North Central West Virginia that you may want to grab a bite at. So that's coming up on the Lunchbox segment of the show. Delegate Hollis Lewis is going to stop by the studio today. Back to sports for a moment. Daniel Woods will join us with our weekly Friday football blitz, talking WVU Pitt, also Marshall EKU, and some big high school games as well. We're going to talk some news from the Supreme Court today. And going back to sports for just a moment, sportscaster Cassidy Wood from KDKA in Pittsburgh. Of course, you enjoyed her work on 13 News here in the Valley and several of the Next Star stations. Well, she's moved up to Pittsburgh right now, so we're going to get a kind of check on what the vibe is in Pitt prior to the Backyard Brawl tomorrow. Mark Curtis will stop by, and, of course, Open Line West Virginia. And just added to the show, Hoppy Kercheval. Hoppy's going to be on the show today because Joe Manchin is about to go off on this book tour. His book is out or will be for mass distribution soon. And what he's doing is Joe is going all over the country, and he's doing these kind of forums about the book. He's starting the first one tonight in Morgantown. Great night to do it prior to the WVU Pitt game. It's actually going to be there in the shadow of the stadium. It's a sold-out event for this book launch, and Hoppy Kercheval is actually going to be the one who is going to be moderating the event and sitting down and talking to former senator, former governor, former secretary of state, former legislator, and now author Joe Manchin. So we'll get Hoppy's take on that coming up on the show today as well. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony V. Taylor text 304-935-5008. I want to tell you real quick, speaking of the Backyard Brawl, about something one of our sponsors is doing here, and that's the all-new Generations Ford, which is located in Hurricane. Generations Ford is giving away 2 tickets to the Pitt WVU game tomorrow afternoon in Morgantown. Now, these just aren't any tickets. These are 2 tickets on the 30-yard line, lower level. Now, to qualify, here's what you got to do. Go to the Generations Ford Facebook page and simply like the post and then share it on your feed on Facebook. It's that simple. It's the all-new Generations Ford, sponsor of the show, new in Hurricane. You knew it for years as Midway. Now it's Generations Ford. So if you want to get those tickets, you want to be in the running for those tickets, all you got to do is go to the Generations Ford Facebook page, like it, and then share it on your personal page. And they're going to, from people that do that, they're going to draw a name out, and that person's going to win 2 tickets for WVU Pitt tomorrow on the 30 at Milan Puskar Stadium. And they're going to make that announcement at 5 o'clock today, and there is no purchase necessary. All right, so that's all you got to do if you want to get those tickets. So what we got to do now is take a break because I got some texts to get to, and we'll get to them right after this on the Voices of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
Herd fans, this Saturday is your last chance to watch the Marshall University football team at the Jones C. Edwards Stadium for a month. So make sure you're at the game Saturday, 6 o'clock against Eastern Kentucky. The renewal of an old rivalry, nearly 100 years old. The Herd and the Colonels first played in 1926. The weather forecast looks great, and it's a whiteout, so plan your wardrobe accordingly. It's also Military Appreciation Day. The Herd needs you. So get your tickets now by calling 800-THE-HERD or by logging on to herdzone.com.
Ready for college but not sure about the next steps? At Bridge Valley, you can start building your future while earning stackable credentials. Whether it's business, healthcare administration, or accounting, take courses that work for you, online or on campus, and build your career one step at a time. Work, study, and stack those credits toward your degree. Get certifications like QuickBooks, Lean Six Sigma, and more. And you may be eligible to go tuition-free with West Virginia Invests. Bridge Valley. Stackable credentials, flexible education. Start today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
6 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. It's going to be a great weekend of Dirty Birds baseball, final weekend of the season over at Gillenwater Ballpark. All sorts of giveaways sponsored by WellPoint tonight. Free T-shirts for the first 500 fans, plus free tickets for the first 500 to opening night of the Salango Law Light the Night. Saturday, Mountain Stage night with a concert and Super Mega Blast fireworks after the game. Sunday, Grandparents' Day and a Super Family Fun Day with kids 12 and under admitted free. If you need more information, check out their social media or dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Yeah, it is the final weekend for Dirty Birds Baseball here in Charleston. Before you know it, we'll be turning things over to the Salango Law Light the Nights, which will happen toward the end of November. Biggly Piggly Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. There's a little bit of controversy brewing, and again, top of the hour, ABC News will have more on the Charlie Kirk assassin. An assassin apparently has been apprehended. 22-year-old, we're hearing from Utah. And folks, including President Trump, are saying that the guy's father actually was the one who talked him into confessing, apparently, after the weapon was recovered. And you knew it's just a matter of time. So there's going to be a briefing coming up soon, and we'll have more on that with ABC News. But there's some other controversy right now I want to talk about. Delegate Anitra Hamilton, and I think Talkline boys are going to get in this a little bit, did a post on social media that's getting a lot of blowback. I'm going to paraphrase the post, and I appreciate a texter who sent this in here. America continues to be accustomed to individuals of notable reputation and those of no known nature spewing racism and performing acts of discrimination. Speaking words of racist nature is not your First Amendment right, but are acts of domestic terrorism upon the souls of the American people. There are no skill sets that can prepare you or protect you from racism. And for the people who find respect for the work of racist people in lieu of their racism, by the way, she spelled in lieu of wrong, for people who only see religion but not the structure of racism and discrimination that was carried in on the back of it, and for the people who are practicing against political violence and will not acknowledge the overt and covert expressions and demonstrations of racism, whether you're Republicans, Democrat, and the new hiding place of independence, we see you. You have done nothing, all that talking, and have done nothing. You don't create spaces of debate by being racist, especially when everyone debating is white, and you're speaking in places where the African-American population is 1.36%. And she ends with saying, thank you for attending my TED Talk. That's from Delegate Anitra Hamilton. And a lot of folks are taking issue with that. Yeah, there's going to be some controversy, I think, that's going to come out of that. There already has been, as a matter of fact. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Jutes, J-O-O-T Security Systems. Visit protectedbyjute.com or check them out on Facebook. If you missed Senator Jim Justice interview with Wilson and Meadows and Talkline yesterday, oh my, it was a good one. Brad McElhenney writes about it, WVMetroNews.com. It's the lead story, as a matter of fact, this morning. And you'll recall that when Governor Justice vetoed a bill that would have loosened West Virginia's mandatory school vaccinations. So he was on Talkline, the senator was yesterday, Senator Justice, and was asked what he thought of the current battle over vaccine mandates for school kids that's playing out in court. He calls it, quote, plain out and out nuts. Quote, now, direct quote, the CDC has been around a long time. The vaccines are proven in every way. You know where I stood when I was your governor. President Trump stands with me in regards to the vaccine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the terms, end quote. And what I took away, and I listened to this intently sitting at my desk yesterday, what I took away from this, and the way that the government threw it out there, the governor, the senator, former governor, threw it out there, I'm just going to speculate, and I've had no one-on-ones with Jim Justice. I think he wants to be governor again. I really do. And I'm certainly not alone in that. I am told, he has told people in private that, yes, he does want to be governor again. And I don't think it hurts him any when you think about the West Virginia poll that came out. It would be, I guess, 2 weeks ago today, that said, among other things, that West Virginians, many of whom supported Jim Justice in the past, say that then Governor Jim Justice was the best governor of their lifetime. I think that does nothing but fuel the fire, to be honest with you, a little bit. And I'm told that now Senator Justice wants to be Governor Justice. Now, he did say he wishes, he called him Patrick. I do wish Patrick the best, but I'm hearing, what I'm hearing there is that, I think he wants to be governor again. All right. Got to go. Thank you to all our guests on the show today. Tom Bragg, Chris Lawrence, Lauren Hatcher, and Angie Gillenwater as well. Stephanie Pauly was our producer. Wilson and Meadows coming up with Talkline. I will be back later today with Metro News Midday. Back on this show on Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.